Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Don't mind all the stuff back there. I know that side seems to be always like messy. It's been long days. I just throw my jackets and everything there. I do apologize for that little mess over there. I'll eventually get all this cleaned up and everything because I will do a room tour type of a thing. Also, I did my hair yesterday. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Some of you could probably tell the difference. Some of you probably can't and just go, hey, it's the same color. Shade is different, okay? Tones are different. Just so you know, it's just like eyeshadow, okay? Foundation, same thing. Tones are different. They don't all look the same. And also, I did my roots in case you guys haven't noticed, which I hope you guys do, you know, because I paid money for it. So in case you guys haven't noticed the title of today's video, I am going to talk to you guys about my favorite setting powders. I'm specifically going to be focusing on loose setting powders rather than pressed powders, but I'll like throw in one or two, like what I like and don't like, mainly focusing on my favorites, and then probably like dabble on a few that did not work out for me and I did not like for whatever reason it is. So if you guys are curious on what my favorite powders are and what worked for me, and hopefully it works out for you, definitely check out the rest of the video. But before I get into it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and give this a thumbs up for these setting powders that I'm gonna mention later on in the video. And don't forget to follow me on my social media handle right there, which is just my Instagram. And let's get started with the video. I feel like it's been a while since I've like recorded. Like, I don't know why, it just feels like it's been a long time. I know I didn't post like on Saturday. I'm trying to do like 2 videos a week, so hopefully I can keep up with that. I've been pretty good with it so far until Saturday, but I just needed a break. I need to sleep in. But give this a thumbs up for me putting like 2 videos a week compared to like 1 video a week like back then. Okay, so I am obviously going to start off with my favorite powders. These are powders that I use every day. Oh, well, not every day, but like when I do my makeup, because I work from home now. I'm going to start off with the Givenchy Prisme Libre loose powder. This is in shade number 3, which is Viole Rosé. So obviously, just to briefly touch upon this, because I did make a dedicated video for it, this retails for $72. They have different colors to target the different shade range. So this is in number 3. This is the pink one, like I said, and this is more for light skin tones. This is supposed to be a mattifying powder, and it is mattifying. But throughout the day, the matte look is definitely going to look more natural. It's going to give you a nice glow. I specifically use this just for underneath the eyes. I don't really use this all over the face. You can. I personally do not. This looks gorgeous under the eyes. Depending on which powder that you do get, because there's some where it has like the purple, the green, and everything like that, it helps to even out your complexion. So if there's redness, if you want to brighten, and so forth. Again, with this specific shade right here, number 3, I just use this underneath the eyes for brightening, and it doesn't settle into the fine lines. It gives some brightening. It's definitely matte. It blurs out the pores, and it gives it this radiant, like healthy look throughout the day. So I really love it for that. You don't need a lot because, again, this is very mattifying. If you're gonna use a lot of the powder, it's gonna look too dry. And we don't wanna look dry. We wanna look nice and natural. So a little does go a long way. If you wanna put just one extra layer, you can, but don't overdo it because it is mattifying. So the next product I'm gonna be talking about is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. Now this does retail for $60, and I don't use this to set my whole face. I use this as a after setting my whole face, which I'll get to the product that I use to set my whole face in a second. I use this just to kind of like graze over certain areas of my face if I want to give it that extra glow. I prefer to use this as just like a veil, thus the Veil Translucent. I use a brush, take some of the product and tap the excess off, and I just graze over certain areas of my face. So I usually go like the high points of my cheekbones, maybe a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my forehead. Not too much though, because my T-zone does get oily. So I just lightly graze it just to give it a little extra healthy glow. And also that this is not a mattifying powder either. This does give a more natural finish. So because it gives more of a natural finish, I like to use this just to like certain points of the face. This does go a long way because you're not going to be using too much of this. And it definitely does give a nice, natural, flawless finish. So the next and last loose setting powders that are my favorite are the Chanel's. Now these are the reformulated one. Well, one is, one isn't. So this is the Chanel Poudre, I'm probably gonna butcher the name, Poudre Universelle Libre. I got in shade 20 and 40. So the 20 is the new reformulated one. I did a dedicated video on it, and this is the original formula. Obviously, there is a lot of this left. It's in shade 40 because I am not that shade anymore because I'm getting lighter. So lately I've been using it to set my contour. So I'll get to that in a sec. So the reformulated loose powder, there are mixed reviews about it. I do definitely love the original one. I don't mind the new one. So this does retail for $68. It is quite up there. But to help justify this, you do get 1 fluid ounce of product, and that's a lot for powder. So just so you guys know, the Givenchy, there is 0.42 fluid ounces, and then the Hourglass, it's 0.36. So again, for $68 for like a full fluid ounce, that is quite a bit of like loose powder. Like that's a lot of product in there. So again, I do use this to help like cut my contour, just to have a little bit more chiseled, and whatever is excess on the poof, I would set my smile lines. So I did use this to set under my eyes way back then. I haven't used this under my eyes lately, but if you looked at my dedicated video, it looked amazing. Everything set, nothing like creased or anything like that. It was great. So now I just use this to help like cut the contour right there, because I don't want to use the Givenchy and have like a pink and look bright there. That's not the point. I want to kind of look more closer to my flesh, my skin tone, right? So that is what I use that for. And then in shade 40 with the original formulation, I don't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning, but this is more of a natural finish. So you don't have to worry about this being too mattifying on the face. And then throughout the day, it does give this like lovely, nice, gorgeous look. Like it doesn't look, you know, cakey. So I use cream contour, and then I will use my bronzer. So then after that, to set everything, to give it some more dimension, I use shade 40 to help set that contour, look more dimensional. It is great. So for me, like loose, translucent setting powders, they're great and everything. But if I want something to give a better hold, something to last all day, I will go with a powder foundation, only because it'll help my makeup last a lot longer in comparison to translucent powders. So I typically like to go with the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Custom Finish Powder Foundation. Reason being because like we talk a lot, we move a lot. Like you can see here, there is a lot of movement. So if you want to ensure that your makeup does hold all day, I would recommend using like powdered foundations. I go in with a brush, just a few dabs, and like set the rest of my face. So it's very like coverage. And if you guys aren't comfortable using like powder foundations to set your makeup, you can always get the translucent setting powders and use that instead. Since everyone's needs are different, like for me, like I said, I need something that would like hold a lot better. So I go in with the foundation powder to help set everything else, because translucent powders just doesn't do it for me anymore. Especially when I wear a mask. I feel that like when I do that, this section right here, especially around the mouth, because I talk, all this is moving, it breaks apart a lot quicker in comparison to setting it with a powder foundation, which is built to like, you know, make your makeup last. Translucent powders, they're great underneath the eyes because again, there's no movement, and it's so fine and delicate enough that like it'll just give like this nice like natural look. So that's my opinion on powders, setting powders, and like powder foundations. So if you guys need something with an extra hold, try a powder foundation. That might work out for you better than just translucent setting powders. I can't speak today. So with that being said, I want to talk to you guys about a few setting powders that did not work out for me. And some of you guys might look at me going, so this one is a big one because this is like the most popular one. I think this is the very, very first translucent powder that we've all used, and like it was a ride or die, try and true, is the Laura Mercier loose setting powder. I know, some of you guys are gonna be like shocked, like just like shocking face everywhere going, what? Why? Let me tell you. So at first there wasn't really many options for translucent powder, and this was like years ago. So it was either not much was available, or maybe like some brands weren't really well known for it. I don't know what the case was, but Laura Mercier like blew up with their loose powder, and everyone loved it, like absolutely loved it. So of course I tried it and I loved it, and I finished my first one, and then I tried other ones. So then I figured like, let me go back to it because I loved it so much. So I don't know if if maybe like they reformulated, or maybe like my skin is different, what the case it is, I don't know. But it is way too matte, too drying. It made me look cakey. I don't know what happened. Like, this was a good powder, but it just didn't work out for me anymore. So like the Givenchy, like that is matte, but like it made me look like radiant and everything throughout the day. With the Laura Mercier, throughout the day, I looked cakey. I looked bad. Like, you saw like my pores and everything. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, that did not work out for me. So unfortunately, Laura Mercier, meh. It's not for me anymore. So another one that didn't work out for me is the KVD Locket Setting Powder. Yeah. I don't know what was in that. Like, I seen like a 4-star review on Sephora and I figured, oh my gosh, this must be good. No, it was not. I obviously used this under the eyes because it's like translucent powder. Used it under the eyes. When I did set my concealer, it clinged on to like something. I don't know what it was clinging on to, because when I blended out my concealer, it was smooth. The moment I put on that translucent powder on, it basically like clinged on to like a patch of something. I have no idea. And then there was just glitter. Like, it looked like just glitter. It didn't look like it was a nice glow. It was just glitter. And it looked way too like white for my skin. Like, oh, I looked like too mist. It was way too brightening. And I don't understand the whole concept of glitter or some sort of shimmer, like a prominent shimmer in a translucent powder. Like, what's the point of this? Like, if I'm going to be putting under here, I don't want this section of my face and under my eyes to be like glistening with like shimmer. I just want it to look like I'm youthful, I am awake, not sparkles just flying out everywhere. So that was a definite no for me, especially the clinging on to nothingness. Like, it made absolutely no sense. And I used a sponge, I used a brush. It just didn't work out at all. And also the fact that like the clinging on part was one thing, and then when I did use a brush to like set the rest of my face, it didn't set anything. Like, it made me more drier. My foundation started to crack. It was a weird experience. So I was just like, hey, this definitely did not work out for me whatsoever. I don't know why it has 4-star reviews, but maybe I'm just the odd one out that it just didn't work out for me. So last but not least, we have the MAC Cosmetics, what was it, Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. So I got this in Light Plus from what I remember, and I used this to like set the rest of my face because I was a lot lighter back then. I didn't really have much of a tan. And when I did use this, I was like, okay, well, I got Light Plus. It's still a little too dark for me to set underneath my eyes, so I used it for the rest of my face. But I didn't feel like it really like did anything. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. Like, it's light coverage, it's matte, but I felt like it didn't, like, I guess it set my makeup a little bit, but it didn't really give me like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing, like, a feeling. It's just like, okay, I put this on, and it's like, okay, anything gonna happen? It advertised that, of course, like, it's gonna reduce pores, minimize shine, and all that stuff. It was comfortable. It lasted pretty okay from what I remember. And in terms of blurring out my pores and keeping shine away, I don't really think that it did. So basically, I really don't like that MAC powder. It didn't really do anything for me. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible. Wasn't really fulfilling at all, basically. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope the products I mentioned in this video like helps you guys in like your search for like your new setting powder. So my favorite setting powders definitely worked out for me. Definitely do your own research, of course, because what works for me may not work for you. And they are kind of up there in price. I do apologize. Maybe I'll do a more budget-friendly one in the future if you guys want. But these are kind of up there in price. But also, you're not going to be using it that much anyway. So do weigh your pros and cons. Do your research to see which one would fit for you. Same thing with the ones that did not work out for me. Maybe it'll work out for you after all. But anyways, you guys, I gotta head out. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I'm tired. I probably need to take a nap before I leave. I have no idea right now. But before I leave, before you guys leave, make sure you check out these other 2 videos right here. If you haven't done so already, that is my phone. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!